Over the last 2 years, I found myself and lost myself and refound myself. And it's crazy because it all started with stopping my YouTube videos. And I didn't really know if I was ever going to do this kind of setup again. Because everything in this world, when you're an entrepreneur, makes you feel like you have to learn something more, makes you feel like you have to catch up with everybody else. And in doing just that, I lost who I was. I didn't stop making content. I made way more content than I ever have in my entire life. And most of it wasn't even for me. I had built up my business. I had clients. I had coaches that I was working with. And I had some really good things going. And then I got really excited about someone else's dream. And I put my everything into that. And in turn, everything else that I had made kind of just fell apart because I wasn't focusing on me anymore. 2 years ago, I was making videos weekly. I was putting out about, I think, 2 or 3 every single week here on YouTube. And then I got swept away in the craziness of the world, thinking I had to learn more, do more, be more. And then I stopped doing the very thing that brought me joy and happiness. And it wasn't even that I was upset about making the videos. It was that I didn't realize that this had become my anchor. This was my anchor for my entire day. Because doing this would kind of kickstart my whole routine that I had made. So I was just naturally wanting to meditate, wanting to journal, wanting to do cold showers, wanting to do yoga, wanting to do it all. And then I stopped doing this to do other work elsewhere, and then everything else just kind of fell apart. And it took me so long. And I was wondering for so long, why don't I feel like that anymore? I was in the best shape of my life. I had finally loved myself for the first time and really leaned into it. And I was feeling really great. Like, what changed? What is it? Like, I'm building all these things. They all sound amazing and they're exciting, but was it really me? And this is a story of how I refound myself and what I've been kind of going through. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Radiant Sun. My name is Kendra and I'm a clarity and momentum coach, and I love helping people. And here is my story of how I helped so many people that I stopped helping myself. And I strongly advise you to never do that. But I will say that a lot came out of this. I gained a lot of new skills. I made a lot of new friends. And in the end, it was worth it. I wouldn't go back and undo anything because now I understand things a lot more than I did. When you lose sight of yourself, you don't even realize that you are. Certain things will kind of feel out of place, but you don't really know until it's too late. And then once I found this out, I stopped everything because there was so much going on that I had no idea what direction I was supposed to go in anymore. And so the only answer that I had was to just stop everything. Don't try to build anything. Don't think you have to get anything done or gain more speed or anything. Just stop. And so I did. And that's when I realized that I stopped giving myself that silence every day. I stopped giving myself that time and space that I needed to be me and embrace myself and do things that I wanted to do. And so for a few months, I feel like a lot of people would probably say that this would be like a dark point in their life, because it did feel really dark. It felt really lonely and it was really, really, really hard. But I wouldn't exactly say that it was a dark point in my life. I would just say that it felt like I was in a tar pit. It was really, really hard. But somebody, source, God, universe, whatever you believe in, they were the ones that kind of put a branch out, and I had to pull myself out with that. So I'm very, very grateful for everything I went through and everything that I learned. But yeah, that dark point, that hermit mode, that pause and reset was exactly what I needed. it allowed me to see what in my life was out of alignment and what I needed to do to change things and get back to who I want to be. And sometimes starting over is exactly what you need to do, but the change in perspective really helped when I realized that I wasn't starting over. I wasn't starting from scratch. I wasn't starting from zero. I was starting from experience. I've already built everything. I already know how things work. I just have to do it again and be consistent. And I was going crazy for the longest time trying to figure out the next step and trying not to spiral in all the thoughts of what if it doesn't work out the way you need it to. And what I found out is that the next step is way smaller than you think, and you might feel silly after you realize what it is for you. So for a while, I was getting the nudge to come back to YouTube. I knew what I needed to do. I knew this is what I was missing because I love connecting with people. I love communicating with people, and I hate being salesy. I hate trying to pitch my business. I hate everything about it. And it's just, it doesn't feel authentic to me. It doesn't seem genuine. And I was kind of like learning from all these people that like they know sales. They do sales. That's just like how they run their business. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a bunch of different ways to run a business. But every single time I would say like a post, for example, someone with like an entrepreneur, they would put out a post and it would talk about something traumatic that they went through when they were younger or a lesson that they had learned, and they write it in a way to connect with their audience and really pull you in. And like that can be genuine, that can be authentic. But when I read something like that and then it goes into a sales pitch and a funnel at the end, I'm like, I thought I was connecting with this person. Now I feel like I'm their target audience. Like I feel like they just want my money at this point. And that is what I was trying to avoid. And so it was kind of hard rebuilding everything, trying to use all of these tools that I had learned that weren't actually for me. I was trying to put a square block in I don't even know what shape, a triangle, I don't know. I was trying to make things work that just didn't work for me. And this is where I realize I need to be. I need to just be myself and get on camera and talk to my peeps. And this is actually where I first found me. It was because of my videos, because when I first started this, I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to be on a camera. I didn't want to be a content creator. No, like I was the most shy kid in the world, and yeah, no. I really didn't think I'd ever do this, and then I started, and I love it, and I found so much joy in it before I really got to connect with myself and dive into my personality and feel out what I wanted to do, what I wanted to talk about. And it's been great seeing all the comments and interacting with people, and like it doesn't have to be polished. Like you go on TikTok, and I've tried so many different platforms now, but TikTok, for example, it's completely different, which I mean is to be expected from TikTok. But everything is about the hook. Everything is about the hook. Every single fucking thing is about the hook. It doesn't matter if your content is good or not. If your hook is not good, people are swiping. Their attention span is about 0.3 seconds. Okay? On here, yes, hooks are still important. People need to know why they're watching your video. But that's not all. It's not like an all or nothing. I feel like it's much different. People tend to stay for at least that first part, and they'll vibe it out. And if they resonate with you, they'll stay. If not, then they're just not your audience, and that's okay. But I feel like it's just way more natural here. So, I mean, if you're trying to build something and you're putting your stuff out wherever, I would suggest putting it out on all sorts of different platforms. I had mine spread across 4 platforms, I believe. Some people do more. I didn't want to overwhelm myself, so I just picked a schedule that worked best for me, and I maintained consistency with that. But for whatever reason, I just kept blocking myself from coming back here. I'm like, no, everybody's talking about short form content and hooking people and all this stuff, and it's like, no, I don't want quick success. I don't want to, like, I want it to be real connection. Even if something seems great, feels great, sounds great, if it's not aligned, it's not aligned, and you gotta listen to that when you figure it out. Because if you don't and you just keep going thinking, oh well, it'll all come out in the wash, it'll be fine, like it'll be great, No, if it's not in alignment, it's not going to be how you want it to be. And you're going to take a different path in life, learn more lessons until you realize, hey, I need to stay true to myself. I need to set stronger boundaries. I need to really start speaking up for myself. And yeah, I found my voice, but also I feel like it was also kind of shut down at the same time, because to find my voice, it had to be shut down so much, because I went into something being so excited and confident, and then I started losing confidence and losing my voice because everything was critiqued in a very different way. You come on here and you talk about yourself or just the lessons that you've learned, and you're trying to help people and everything, and you're just you, and people love that. And over there, it was more like entrepreneur meet corporate world, and I was really there for learning purposes, and then I ended up being criticized and ridiculed and belittled, and it was very strange. And I was, again, trying to look past these things because I wanted to help people. I'm like, oh, it'll be worth it in the end, right? No, because I will help people, but if I am doing it in a way that's not aligned, I'm not going to reach as many people as I actually need to in this lifetime. Nobody is going to want to listen to anybody that is doing something because they think that they need to. It just doesn't happen like that. So now I am back. I am back here, back on YouTube, and I am posting here consistently again. I'm tired of the busyness of everything else, and this is where my heart is. This is where I feel the most comfortable to be me, and I have a lot to talk about. So I guess buckle up and get ready for more, because I'm embracing my weirdness, and I'm sharing my stories, and I'm finding my community and my people again, and I'm also enjoying this new chair. You got a new chair? You like the new chair? It's a nice new chair. It swivels. It's a nice chair. Yeah? Yeah. See? This is way more fun than a 10-second TikTok, right? Right. I'm hoping that you're able to take something from what I learned so you don't have to go through it. But if you ever feel like if something comes up in your life and it just, like you have a choice, a decision to make or something, right? Something comes up and you're trying to figure out if you're going to do it or not. How does it feel inside? Does it feel exciting and kind of makes you scared? Because that's the combination you want. If something is just exciting and it's pure adrenaline and you just really want to do it and it's so awesome, that's probably how you're going to learn another lesson, from my experience anyways. And it's a very tricky thing. You really have to go inwards and listen to yourself. But I say that you want the path that brings you excitement and fear, because if you're scared but you're excited to do it, it means that it's going to challenge you and you're going to grow from it. And you're going to move forward in your path and get closer to where you want to be. But if something is just pure adrenaline, it's not challenging you at all. It's just like an excitement to go off and do whatever. And just in my experience, could be different for everybody, but that's just what I have found out. If it's just adrenaline and it feels more busy and confusing or chaotic, even if it's exciting, if it feels busy at all, like that's probably not the way you want to go. But if it is exciting, makes you a little nervous, makes you a little scared, but you're ready, you want to do it anyways, that's probably what you want to do. Because everything that I went through was kind of just adrenaline and thinking I was listening to my intuition when it really wasn't my intuition. It was just like the excitement of, ooh, wow, this is cool. Like I am getting to meet all these people and learn all these things, and this is so cool. But it wasn't the direction that I needed to go for me. And if I don't put myself first, I can't help others the way that I want to. I can't be there for my family like I want to. I can't be there for my friends like I want to. So, with all that said, trust your intuition. If something comes along and it just feels right, even if it makes you a little scared, but it just feels right, go for it. And if you do feel like you've lost yourself, whether it's a job that you've been stuck in or a relationship that you've been stuck in or something that is making you feel like you've lost your way or lost yourself, give yourself some silence, because this whole realization that I had about this being the place where I needed to spend my time and put my focus in did not come from thinking over and over and over and over again about which direction I wanted to go in, because every single time I did that, I just got stressed out and I didn't end up doing anything. This came from implementing self-care and giving myself a moment of silence. The kids had gone to bed, I drew a bath, didn't even play music, didn't have lights on, lit a candle, and I was just in silence. And that's when this came to me. And it just felt right. And then I couldn't fall asleep because it was like Christmas Eve. Like, I was so excited to be back here, back in my element, back where I am meant to be. So, yeah, that's what's been going on here. And I hope this helped you in some way. And yeah, I'm really excited for things to kick off here. I'm glad to be back here in my setup, and I'm glad to have you on the other side of the screen. So follow along for more, and I'll see you in the next video.